G'day guys. I'm having some trouble with the clutch on the little Kubota L1-18. It's not releasing at all. I haven't used it for a few months, so I figured maybe the clutch is sort of rusted onto the flywheel or the pressure plate, and usually you can get that to unstick by pulling against a tree or something, or putting the brakes on when you're moving along, but that didn't work. So I ran it for about an hour because I thought maybe the heat might loosen things up, but that didn't work either. Possibly there's a linkage that's slipped off, or something's come undone under there. So I'll take this panel off and see if there's anything that's slipped, and otherwise I'll have to split the tractor and dig a bit deeper, see what's going on. Right, there's no loose linkages on the outside here. That rod going through is turning, so it looks like I might have to split it. Might just need an adjustment, but I don't think it's that, but we'll give it a go first. Got it. Better just turn that to lengthen the shaft. That's in there. That's feeling a bit more positive. It's definitely pushing a lot harder, so we'll try that. No, there's still something not right in there. Steering box there. Disconnect that shaft. Get it. It's the steering shaft. That's looking pretty clean. made a foot to hold the front end up, so that's going to keep it in the right position. So we'll make one for the rear end, which you can bolt up into there, and that'll just hold everything in the right position. Should be able to just slide the rear end back. Yeah, and when I go to put it on, it'll be in exactly the right spot, hopefully. It's coming. Okay, that's working. There we go. There's nothing broken in there that I can see. I did wonder if those fingers had slipped on the shaft, but it seems okay. I see it's quite rusty in there. There's obviously been a bit of water in there. It might just be a stuck clutch plate. Okay, I can see what the problem is there. Friction disc has rusted onto the clutch backing plate. See if I can free that up without damaging it, because there's plenty of meat left on that. And it's obviously been stuck on that side as well, because there's raised spots of rust in there. So it hasn't been turning, it's kind of locked itself on there. And also on that shaft there was a bit rusty, so that wouldn't have been helping as well. So it couldn't slide on there freely. Again, I don't want to damage that disc getting it off of there. If I'm too forceful, I think it's just going to ruin the friction material on the other side. I'll just try pushing down on the socket first of all and see if that will pop it off. Getting in there. If I can just go around and do that all the way around, it might release. Ah, got it. Yeah, look at that. Is there any damage? No. Awesome. Look at that, no damage at all. That's brilliant. So I'll just give that a bit of a sand down, get rid of all that rust, and she can go back together. So when you push the clutch lever down, the bearing pushes on those fingers, and it sort of pries the pressure plate back that way. I'll just make sure that everything's moving freely in here. See those fingers move in. Yep. So that's moving freely. Yep, looks good. Yep, that's all okay. Just give that plate a bit of a clean up. Get that rust off there. Good idea to wear a respirator when working with clutches and brakes, because that might be asbestos dust in there, so you don't want to get that in your lungs or all over the workshop. rag to get all that dust off. The flywheel side isn't as bad, but there's still a few rust spots there. I'll give that release mechanism a squirt of grease while I'm in here. Doesn't need much. If you give it too much, it's going to end up all over the clutch and make it slip. Just 1 or 2 squirts will do it. Wipe off any excess. And I'll put a bit on the shaft as well, because that was part of the problem. I've made a rod to fit inside the pilot bearing. See how that feels. Yeah, that's perfect. Smooth as. That'll be okay to leave in there, so I don't need to replace that. And the throw-out bearing is good. I've oiled that up, so that's nice and smooth now. I'll oil all the linkages while I'm in here. Well, that's all ready to go back together now. I just need to make a shaft same dimensions as this to hold the clutch together as I'm bolting it up. There's a bit of a step here, you can barely see it, but this part goes into the flywheel and this part here is slightly wider, which goes inside the clutch disc. So it's quite a tight fit in there, but it lines everything up perfectly so that the shaft can just slide straight in when I put it back together. As I put everything back together, I've got to slide the drive shaft of the front wheels into the spline up there. So I'll grease everything up there so that it slides in easily. Pulling the back end in with a ratchet strap. Pretty good now, right in the middle. Right, as you pull it together, you want to keep the gap the same all the way around the housing. So I just use a socket or something just to get a gauge on where it's at. Otherwise things won't line up properly. Yep, that's spot on, really. If it's out, you just have to shimmy it back and forth until it slots into place. But I think that's sliding in first go. I think I've got that drive shaft of the front wheels lined up. I'll turn the flywheel. I can see the output shaft turning, so I know that the spline is engaged. That should go together now. The flywheel is turning freely. Nothing's bound up in there. That's all good. Everything seems to be lined up well. I've jacked up the rear end, rigged up the clutch, and it's in gear. Let's see if it disengages. So clutch is down and the wheel turns. Release the clutch, and I can't turn it because the clutch is engaged. So that's all sorted now. I can put everything back together. And the clutch adjustment is quite important too, because we could see in there that it looked like the release bearing had been sitting on the actual pressure plate fingers, and that's why it had worn a bit of a groove. So you want it slightly back from engaging with the pressure plate. Otherwise the bearing is just going to sit there and wear itself out and wear out the fingers. Just checking some of the other bolts, and they are quite loose, some of them. It pays to check the important bolts every now and then, because they do tend to come loose over time. They're a little bit loose as well. But all those mounting bolts for the front end loader frame were loose. Alright, before I put all the tin back on, I'll give it a water blast. It's pretty filthy under there, and just give it a bit of a test run to make sure all is well. Alright, there's another problem that's just cropped up. I can't change it out of low range. This gear lever has seized up. I think it's something in behind that cover has seized up. So I'll take that off and have a look, see what's going on. It's freeing up now. like 4 shafts going into this casing, a couple around the back, and these 2, and so I've oiled all those, and it's freed up. It's going into all the gears now, and it's quite smooth, so that's all sorted, thankfully. So I think it must have just got a bit of moisture in between the shaft and the casings, and a little bit of rust seized it up, but it's all good now. Right, that's all working perfectly now. Goes into all the gears. Nice. What do you reckon, mate? Should we give it a test run?
Tell me the gears are so slow.
Oh yeah, it's got lots of gears. It's got 4 times 4 is 16. Yeah. Oh, plus reverse, so double that. 32 gears it's got.
What?
Pretty good, eh? What do we check before we start it?
Oil and battery.
Oil. It's the hydraulic oil level. There's a little sight gauge down there. It's hard to see, but I can see that it has enough hydraulic oil. Dipstick is here. Pull that out.
Dipstick. Oh, that's
Have a look.
good.
How's that looking? Yep, full. We're going to have to do an oil change and a bit of service on this, but we'll take it for a run and see how it's going. And where's the radiator fluid, do you think? Up the front here?
Yeah.
Yep. And yep, plenty of coolant there. Good. That's working really well now. Yep, all the gears are working perfectly. Brilliant. And now you push that forward, and now you let the clutch out. That's it. Doing it. Yeah. Good, eh? That's 5th gear. Well done. Yeah, you've done it. No leaks. Very good. So I think we'll do a bit more maintenance on it before we put it back to work, because it's been sitting in the shed for over a year now. So we'll do the air filter and all the fuel filters and everything, and change the oil and filter. And what else can we do? Air filters in there, we'll check that. Check all the belts and everything. And
the fuel.
other than that, it's pretty good. There's a few. Look at this, Toby. That hydraulic ram is leaking oil, so we're going to have to reseal that. Just have to take this cap off and put a few more seals in, but that's no big deal.
It doesn't smell good either.
Nah, it's a bit stinky. But apart from that, she's a good one. She's a good one. I reckon we should make a roll bar for it, hey? What do you think? On these ones, the mounting points are here. So if we just make a simple frame, it goes up and over. That way, if we ever tip it over, it's not going to land on us. Alright, well that'll do it for now. So that's how you split a tractor and fix the clutch. It's not really that difficult. The worst part is just taking all the tin off here. That was the fiddliest bit. Apart from that, it's all pretty straightforward.
The main part is fixing that clutch.
Yeah, it was just stuck because it had got a bit of rain in there, eh? So a wee bit more maintenance and she'll be good to go. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you next time.